Okay. Says I'm live.
Yay. Here, let's see if I can see it online. Yep. We got it.
Let's see here. Go to my... Okay, I'm going to share it. Maybe. There it is. Copy link. And then... So much work to do, like, after you press live. It's like, I still have to share it.
The social media
I can do about it. I think, okay. There we go. Okay. So... Oh, I just got the notification that I'm live. Of course I am. Okay.
Perfect.
So we will wait and see if anyone hops on. And we're like, we didn't talk about it too much, so we're good. I know sometimes we're like, we'll talk about it before, and I'm like, no, okay.
We were good this time. We refrained.
Yeah. Look, we just get too excited. That's our problem.
I know.
Hello. I can always count on him to be here.
Yeah.
Like,
because even when he forgets, he'll see me setting up, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
Did he read the book as well? Or I guess I could just ask him, but like, you're right there. So
yeah. Yes. And he always reads it before I do every time. Because I like to wait because I'm worried I'm going to forget stuff.
See, I do that often. But I think this time I waited somewhat long enough. I read it like last week. So I should be good.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Lori. Thanks for showing up. Now, if you guys are in the chat and you've read the book, let us know in the comments what you thought of the book. Because I had thoughts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what everyone thinks.
Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you kind of like guess what the twist was going to be? Because like I was telling Paige, like I had theories, but none of my theories came to be.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear everyone's theories. Like I said, I had a couple that were like kind of close. I was like, okay, like I think I'll give myself credit for that one. Maybe.
Oh, see, I don't even think I could give myself credit because like I had certain characters dead and they were ghosts, and it was.
And I think too, like because the book was so hyped, and it's hyped specifically because people were so surprised by the plot twist.
Yes,
I feel like my brain was just going everywhere. Like it has to be something crazy, you know?
Right. You know, and I'm thinking same. So I'm like, when it happened, I was like, oh,
yeah.
So it wasn't like I was like blown away because like okay, so I have an intern who's working at the clinic where I am, and I'm her supervisor. She's like, oh, I read that book. It was so good. And like, so as I'm reading it, she's just like nodding because she wanted us to like spit it out. She's like, I'm like, I don't understand why this is happening or why this person's acting like this. And she's like, just keep reading. It'll. And I was like, so I think it was over the weekend. It must have been a Friday when I finished because I was like texting her. I was like, I finished. She's like, what'd you think of it? And I was like, it was good. She's like, because when I read it, I was like, it was good. Like I wasn't like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I don't know if like it's because of how many thrillers I've read, if it takes more just now to be like shocking to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still looking for that jaw dropping shock of a thriller. It still hasn't happened yet. I mean, it has in the past, but like lately it hasn't. Because I'm like, oh, with this twist, I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, it fits, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lori was intrigued by it though. So, I mean,
yeah, that's good.
Well, I was too. I just wasn't like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like it didn't take me by complete surprise. But honestly, like I don't mind that because I also don't like when it's one of those where you find out what it is and you're like, I would have never been able to guess that.
True.
Because I do like being able to kind of have an idea.
Okay, I guess we can go ahead and kind of talk about the book. I'm terrible with names. I can't remember names. Okay, I know Nina. Which one was Nina?
And Nina's the wife.
Right. I tell y'all, it's terrible. Okay,
And then Millie was her
Millie.
name.
Dear Lord.
The the housemaid, right?
Right, I think so.
Millie. I can't
Yes,
remember
because
his
her
name.
like her real name was like Wilhelmina or something, or like
Yeah, yeah.
okay, I wasn't blown away. Certain things,
Convenient. I could
especially
see
the
that.
ending, were a bit too convenient. Paige mentioned that it works well for a simple. It. I mean, yeah, I definitely think like it when the book starts, it intrigued me. I was
Yeah.
hooked because as I'm reading, so it starts off. Oh, right there's chapter one, Millie. See, I tell you, I read a book and then I can't remember what I read. So the prologue starts off with we don't know who the cop is talking to, but we know the cops are there and something horrific has happened because they're like, you got to come see this. And so as I'm reading the book, I'm assuming that he was talking to the housemaid. Never did
Mhm.
I think it was, spoiler alert, never did I think it was the wife that he was talking to at the beginning.
Right.
So did you kind of have that same, you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
I totally thought it was the housemaid.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the book starts and we start with the prologue with like the cops are there at the house and something horrific's happened, and we think that the cops are talking to the housemaid Millie, but we soon find out that it's not. Well, not soon. Later, you find out that it's not. And then part one starts 3 months earlier, where Millie is at an interview to become the housemaid at the Winchester's house. And every time I heard the Winchesters, I just thought of Supernatural the whole time. I'm like,
Oh my god.
I was like, Dean and Sam, they need a housemaid.
Yes.
Um, but so we have Nina, we have the husband, Andrew. No, was it who? How was
Yeah,
it?
I
Andrew.
think
Okay,
so. I know it's something with an A.
I
I
think
have
it's
it on my Kindle,
Andrew.
so I need to pull it up.
And then the daughter, Cecilia.
Yeah, Cecilia.
Okay, guys, don't make fun. I just don't remember names. It's fine. Um, and when she gets to the house, she's like, I don't understand why these people need a housemate, right? Because like the house is like immaculate when she
Mhm.
first like I was gonna say auditions, but when she first
Yeah.
interviews, and the house is like immaculate. She's like, I don't know why they need one, but what did he say?
Yeah, I could think of a lot of names for him.
A psychopath. No. um, but no, yeah, other name. But yeah, so she gets the job and she starts work at the Winchesters. And when she goes back her first day, like the place is a mess. She's like,
Yeah, like
oh,
a pigsty.
yeah. She's like, so they do need they do need a housemaid. And they say that she has to stay up in the attic, which I thought like nothing of it, even though there was the guest room. I was like, okay, it's private, whatever.
Yeah,
But
it
like,
makes sense. Yeah.
she goes up there and there's like no window. It's like painted shut. You can't open it. The lock is from the outside. So, a little
And
suspicious.
didn't she, like, see the, like, claw marks,
Yes.
like, by the
Yeah.
door? That should have
Yes.
been her first clue.
Right. But you know what? It's like it's fine. It's like
Yeah.
I see that, but no, it's fine. Maybe
Well,
they really don't.
I guess she was just so desperate, right? Because I think at that point we know that she just got out of jail, right?
Yeah, and she like needed a job because like
Yeah.
if not, it was going to break parole or something.
Mhm.
So she like has to have a job, and she had to like be living somewhere because she was living in her car.
Yes.
So um she's in the attic. They have a like gardener who I think he kind of works like the whole neighborhood. But Enzo, what's his name?
I
It
think
starts with an
Enzo, yeah,
E.
because he was
See,
Italian.
I'm a little better. I'm getting a little better with names. But so he's like in and out of like he's very Italian, so she doesn't think he can speak very much English. But so as we're going and she's doing about her housemaid duties, stuff just starts. It's weird. People
Yeah.
start acting weird, especially the
Nina's
wife.
literally insane.
Yes. very like I thought I was going insane. Reading this book, that's what I wrote. I wrote, "I'm being gaslit right now."
Yeah.
Because I know she did not tell her that the daughter was allergic to peanut butter. I'm like, "I
Yeah.
know you did not. I did not read it. I know you did
Yeah.
not tell her." And I literally wrote that. I'm like, "I'm being gaslit."
Yeah.
I
And why
can
would they
tell.
keep peanut butter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was that. What was another one? Oh, where she told her to pick her up from school,
Oh,
and then her
yeah.
daughter's like, "I go to karate." Like, "I just want to take the look." No,
She was
I'm
the sassiest little girl.
yeah, like, so she's like, "I'm going to karate." Like, so she calls her, she's like, "I never told you to pick up." I'm like, "Yes, you did, like, a
Yeah.
couple pages back." So
Like,
I
"What's
literally
wrong
felt like
with
I was
you?"
going crazy. So if I felt like that, I know Millie had to be like, "Okay, what's going on?" I'm, like, getting whiplash here.
Yeah. Like, what
And of
Twilight Zone
course
episode am I in?
yeah. So, like, just more stuff like that starts happening, and then the husband, he's just very nice. He's, like, very, like, cordial. He's like, "It's okay. Nina's just that way. It's fine."
Yeah.
And so she kinda, like, starts falling for the husband a little bit because, like, she already found him attractive.
Girl.
And I was like, "Okay, we're going there." And I was like, "Okay, maybe it's just gonna be, like, a little, like, crush, but nothing's gonna come of it." I was wrong. I was wrong.
Listen, I was but in my head, I'm like, could you have picked the worst guy because of how crazy his wife is?
Right.
Like,
Or,
why are you
I
gonna mess
mean
with somebody whose wife is so crazy?
true.
Like, do you have a death wish?
Right. So, I don't know, maybe she actually was like, "Oh, he's so nice because he's dealing with this." And then maybe that's how, like, she was seeing it, but,
Yeah.
um, something happens to where I know there's a lot of stuff, I'm just giving, like, the overview of it. So something happens to where there's, like, this big fight, and the husband, I can't remember his name right now, kicks Nina out,
Mhm.
and then they go on this, like, date, Millie and him, and then, like, he's like, "I want you to be, like, more than just the housemaid." And they, like,
Mhm.
get together and, like, they're, like, in the attic, and they have a moment, and I was like, "Oh, I'm reading romance right now," but no.
Yeah, I felt
It was,
like
like,
it.
gone before anything. So and then she goes to sleep, and she wakes up, and that's where crap hits the fan because
Mhm.
he has locked her in the attic, and that's kinda where, like, that part ends, and then we go to part 2, which is all from Nina's point of view, and she's like,
Mhm.
"It worked."
Yes.
And I was like, "Girl, what worked? What?"
Like,
And
what are
then we
you
get the whole
saying?
backstory of this whole thing was just this elaborate plan for Millie to become Nina's replacement, so she could get the heck out of there because he's grade A crazy.
Like, a whole nother
Yeah,
level.
like he's like this perfect guy when she first met him. When Nina first met him, she was was she pregnant or she had her kid? I think she
I
already
think
had
she
her kid.
just had the kid, yeah, because I think she was
Um,
breastfeeding.
right, 'cause she had that incident in the office.
Yeah.
He's really nice and everything, and they get married. They have like this whirlwind relationship. They get married, and then that's when his true colors start showing. And I think it starts with like her roots showing, right?
Mhm.
So like she's not a natural blonde. Her roots start showing, so he's got to teach her a lesson. And he locks her in the attic. I forget for how many days. I don't know if it's 2
I
at
think
first
longer. I think
or
it was, like,
but when she
4.
finally gets out, he's like all nice and he puts her to bed in the bedroom and she wakes up to the sound of the bathtub running and she's like, "Oh, he must be running me a bath or but he's not home." So she tries to get to the bathtub and of course I think he must have drugged her because like she's having a difficult time
I
getting
think, like,
there.
in the water bottles
Yeah. Right.
that he kept
Yeah.
in the attic is my theory, I don't know, they never actually said, but I assume.
Yeah. So she gets to the bathroom and then she sees her daughter in the tub, like very, very close to being drowned. Um, so
Yeah.
the cops come because he called the cops saying, "My wife's going crazy." Poor woman gets sent to the to like the psych ward, like the psych hospital for a long time, and no one believes her that it was him doing all this stuff.
And she
She's like,
even starts believing it herself.
yeah, she's like, "Well, maybe." She's like, maybe I did, and that's just the
Yeah.
power of like being gaslit and like being with a
Yeah.
narcissist and having someone completely like almost like brainwash you essentially to
Yeah.
believing that what happened, what didn't happen happened and what happened didn't happen. And
Mhm.
so she eventually gets, I don't know, well, I guess she kind of gets with the gardener, right? Because they kind of have like a relationship, Nina and
Well,
him.
I think at first it's not romantic. I think it's just like because wasn't it like his sister or something
Yeah.
was a victim to domestic violence at one point? So I think he like
He was
kind of
just
has an
kind of like,
idea of like what's going on because he
yeah,
can like see the signs.
right. And then I don't know if they eventually get together.
I think at the very
But
end,
yeah,
like in the present time.
yeah. But she comes up eventually with this plan. Was it him and her that come up with the plan or just kind of
Mhm.
her?
I think
Okay.
it was mostly her. He wasn't like
Yeah,
fully
because he's
on
like,
board.
because in the present, he's like, we can't keep her there. Like, because she's like full on, like, okay, I'm replaced.
Yeah,
Um,
she can take care of herself. I'm out of
yeah,
here.
because she knows that she was in jail. So Millie
Mhm.
all this time thinks, oh, she must not know that I was in jail. They would never have hired this convict or whatever. I guess
Mhm.
convict. But she knew because she hired a private investigator to look into everything. So she knew why she was in there. So she assumed that she's like, she can take care of herself. And she can. Like, we learned that. Um, but just to be like, see, I don't know if I could ever do that. Be like, I'm just going to like find some girl to replace what's happening to me so I can get out.
Mm-mm.
Like, I have conflicting feelings about that because I just don't know if I could ever do that.
I know. Like I think that she should have just like looped Millie in at some point. But then like at what point was she even able to do that, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right, because he's already making her out to be crazy, and Millie
yeah.
thinks she's crazy, and she's kind of like acting at this point. She's like, "Well, if everyone thinks I am, I'm just going to kind of
Yeah.
go with it." Because even her friends are like, "Oh, that's crazy, Nina," you
Mhm.
know. So we get back to the. I don't think I'm missing anything in the part two that was like too big because we learned Nina was like orchestrating it all, and then part three starts back with Millie again, and we're still like she's still trapped, I think, because she didn't get out just yet.
Yeah, I think she's still in the attic.
And then like he's out there saying, you gotta learn your lesson, blah blah blah. Um and she eventually gets him to open the door, and there's like, I don't know if they fight, but she locks him in. And that's like,
Oh, I remember. What's her name? Nina. The last time she was locked in there, she left pepper spray
yes,
in there, but he didn't
yes,
know. So then Millie came out with the pepper spray.
yes. And she locks him in there,
Mhm.
and she tells him, oh, I'll let you out eventually. And she goes down, starts doing stuff. She goes back up there. He has to like put the books like on his like groin area.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh, well, I didn't see it. You put it off of like a minute earlier than you should have. So you have to do it again." And
Yep.
eventually she gets to the point where like she's like, "If you want to come out, you got to like pull out your teeth." And like I'm like, "Okay. I don't know at this point. This is but
How did Nina find this girl? Like
I don't
Millie was
know.
literally perfect for this, so she didn't even know it.
Really not like, yeah, it's like she was the perfect fit for this.
Yeah.
And eventually Nina like gets a heart. She's like, okay, I got to go back and kind of
Yeah.
like save this girl. But little does she know, by the time she gets back, like he's dead. Like he's dead. And of course the cops have to come, and that's when we find out that they were talking to her the whole time,
Yeah,
Nina,
and
and
she
not,
like totally covers it up.
yeah. I forget, even like she said like he got locked himself in or like it locked itself, but it was the detective who was asking her the questions was her husband's ex fiance's father, and
Yes.
he knew something was up, but he just
Mhm.
didn't know what it was. So he kind of like sweeps it under the rug. He's like, it's okay. And then the
Yeah.
book ends with Millie going to another interview, And the wife at this interview, she's like, "Yeah, Nina suggested, recommended you highly."
Yeah, she
And
said
then
you're the best.
yeah, and then she notices there's like bruising and stuff on the
Mhm.
wife. And Millie's like, "Oh my gosh, I know why I'm here." And
Yep.
then we all know why she's here. She's just going to keep doing what I guess she does best, and that's getting rid of the scum
Yep.
men of the earth.
Honestly, I loved that ending.
I did too. Like
I was like, this is the best idea ever.
yeah, like I could just read a
Yeah.
whole like series of just like this girl going and getting rid of like the bad guys.
Yeah. I'll take it.
That's like an overview. I missed a lot of stuff, but that's like an overview of what
Yeah, so
happens in the
much
book.
happens.
So tell me, okay, your thoughts while reading. Like, what was like your number one theory for like what was going on?
So I had a couple of theories at the beginning. I was wondering, like, I was like, how is Enzo involved in this? Like, there's clearly something more to his character because, like, there wouldn't just be a random gardener. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if it's so dangerous, why is he still sticking around? So I had a bunch of theories. I was like, maybe he's Cecilia's real father because you find out
Oh,
that Cecilia is not Andrew's, but it's from like
right.
a previous guy.
Is that even his name? I'm looking.
I think it
I
is.
think it's Andrew, but at this point, I don't know now.
Yeah.
I think it's Andrew, but we're looking. Okay, you keep talking. I'm going to look.
So that was one of my theories. I was like, maybe Enzo is the father, and like maybe he's the one who tried to kill. Because I think the part that threw me off is I couldn't see Nina doing that to her daughter. Because even though Nina is freaking psycho, like I don't think she would do that to her daughter. Or like try to drown her in the tub. I'm like,
Yeah.
someone must have staged that. Like, there's no way she would have done that.
Right.
But I kept thinking it was Enzo, like something with him. I think that was my like initial theory.
Okay.
But I think what got me to change my mind was the scene where they were talking about how much Nina was eating. And it seemed like she was like eating a lot on purpose. And there was a scene where she was like eating her food and like really, really fast. And then she was like letting her roots grow out.
Yeah.
And I was like, is she trying to make Andrew not like her anymore? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's what kind of got me thinking like, okay, maybe Andrew's the real villain here and not Enzo.
Yeah.
So like I
Okay.
knew something with Andrew was going on.
And that is his name. I did find it.
Yes.
Andrew. Okay. Yeah, see, I don't think like for me, like I said, I had very many theories. My first theory, it's gonna sound stupid. My first theory was okay, little girl's dead and she's a ghost. Because like why else is she in these frilly outfits
So
and
creepy.
acting way more yeah, like just very strange.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, you understand why, but just very strange. And I'm like, she's dead. Okay. That was my first theory. My second theory was okay, they can't get pregnant.
Uh-huh.
So they're because of course, like I'm reading and so I know about like the claw marks and like so someone's been there before. So I'm like, that girl is not her daughter, but they have been like kidnapping these women for years, like just pretending to be the housemaid, and they're locking them up in the attic, and they're like surrogates. That was my other theory.
That actually would have been a really good theory.
I think that was my theory for like pretty much the rest of the book until I learned that it wasn't. So like, was I a little disappointed that it wasn't? I was like, yeah, a little bit. But I think that would
good.
I think that would have been a good premise for a book.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to write it now, but for a while that was like, okay, that's my number one theory. Never did I think that it was like him or like I mean I think I did too go through the whole thing like, well, why is she like letting her hair grow, like not really wanting to wear her clothes anymore. And then when she gave her that bag of clothes and then like she turned around, she's like, I didn't give you no clothes. I'm like, yes,
yeah. Like, ma'am.
I was literally like, I'm like, I did not read that wrong. Like, I felt like I was telling you, like, I felt like I was going crazy reading this book. So, but
like, what are we missing?
Yeah, like, I was like, I know she didn't say anything about the peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she didn't say anything about, well, she did say, go pick up my daughter from the school.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got karate. I'm sorry. That's just that little girl. She's a spunky one.
She was the worst.
So, my next question. At the end, and they're at the funeral, and Andrew's mother comes up to her.
That's right.
Do you think she has an idea? Or do you think she is like a catalyst for why he was the way he was? Because she seemed very like prim and proper throughout the book, like when we heard
Yeah.
about her and stuff. Like because she was be like sending stuff to them all the time, and so I'm like, or like she liked the frilly dresses, and that's why Andrew liked the frilly dresses or something. So I'm like, by the end of the book, it sounds like to me that was like, what'd she say? Like he got what he needed to learn his lesson or something.
Yeah.
And like, did she do that to him growing up? Was that like
That's
how
what I
Chelsea?
think.
Okay, because that's like when I read it, I'm like, that's what I'm getting the vibes of. Like, okay, she did that to him, and he's just
Yes.
kind of like repeating the cycle.
Yeah,
Okay,
because it's almost like she was like telling her like good job for killing him because clearly he needed to learn a lesson.
my God,
I was like, oh, okay. And the
right.
dad is just like, I'm here.
I'm like,
I
well,
don't
now
know
I
anything.
don't want to feel bad for Andrew, but also I kind of get it.
Yeah. She knew. Yeah. Oh, because he was weak. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see. I'm just like,
That makes
okay, so
sense.
I'm not crazy. I was reading.
No. Yeah, I definitely got the same vibe.
Okay, good. That's what I really was like wondering. I'm like, I wonder what she thought when she read that part. Like, did she get that
Mm.
vibe? Like she knew, and like also at the she was just like, well, he wasn't good enough, so
Mm-hmm.
he needed to learn his lesson.
Yeah.
My, what a mother.
Because there was that other scene too earlier on where she was at their house and someone left the light on or something. And she like made
Yes.
a big deal about it. So
The
then
electricity.
he put her in the attic and then the light was super, super bright
Yes.
or whatever. I don't
Yep.
know.
That's it. Was that Nina or was that Millie? Now I can't remember.
I think that was
I think
Nina.
I think it was Nina. Yeah.
Because I don't think Millie ever met his
Yeah, I don't think she
did they?
did. I don't
I don't
I
know.
don't think so. But no, I think it was Nina. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was one of the times that he put her up there.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had to have learned that. Like, who does that? He clearly must have learned it from his mom.
Right. And then I'm sure she probably learned it. It's probably generational. I don't want to get into the psychology of it. I just like I'm like, I just want to read the thriller and enjoy it. That's what happens. It's like
Yeah.
when I read books and it's like I don't want to have my psychology brain on, so like
Yeah.
I'm trying not to, and I'm like, oh well, generational trauma can lead to
Yeah.
like, no, I just want to hate him. Like I don't want to like try to play devil's advocate. I just want to hate
No.
him.
Yeah, we definitely hate him.
Yes, like yeah. There's no yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Literally insane. It's crazy.
but yeah. Oh, another part that I liked was when we are at Nina's point of view and we find out that she had gotten like birth control years ago, and she's like, yeah,
Yes.
we're never getting pregnant because I have birth control and he doesn't know.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, girl, I see that.
She was very smart. Very smart.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, she'd probably want like 5,000 kids and
Oh my god.
a little army of frilly dresses.
Yeah, and then she would never get out.
Yeah, yeah. For the most part, it seemed like once, like Cecilia got out of the house, she wasn't like. I mean, you don't see much of her after she gets out of the house and goes to that camp or whatever, but
Yeah.
it seemed like she was a nice little girl after the fact. So maybe it was
Yeah.
just Andrew. I mean,
Yeah, because she couldn't even act like a kid. Like,
yeah. And I'm surprised, like during the dinner scene where like she had made that like elaborate dinner, and like Cecilia wouldn't eat it. She's like, "I want chicken nuggets," or she's like, "This glass is dirty.
yeah.
Give me water." And I'm like, "Girl." And then I'm surprised like he didn't just make her eat that. But he's like, I'll go make you chicken nuggets." I was like, I mean, I guess reading it, I was like, oh, what a nice loving father. He's just gonna go make her the nugget. But after I'm like, why didn't he just make her eat the dinner she made? He's so
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. He was like so hot and cold.
Yeah. Very, very good book though. Like, I
Yeah,
was so
I definitely
intrigued
liked it
for
more
this.
than I thought I would.
Yeah, no, okay, so like you said, with this book being so hyped, I was expecting, like, a twist that was, like, crazy,
Yeah.
and I don't know what that would have had to, like, entail for it to be crazy for me anymore, but for what I know, but for what it was, I'm getting too desensitized, that's my problem. It's
I
like
know, right?
that's why I'm only, like, reading, like, 1 thriller a month if I can, so that way I'm, like, not, like, reading back to back. Because I feel like after a while, they're all, like, how different can they be in the sense of,
Mhm.
like, I never wanna get to the point where I'm, like, calling, like, what the twist is. I just never
Yeah.
wanna get to that. But
Mhm.
so I'm like, "Okay," at least with, like, our book club, we're doing it every other month, and then sometimes I'll do, like, a thriller in between, but normally it's just, like, for our book club, I'm reading the
Yeah.
thriller, so I'm not, like, overloading myself. So I'm hoping I can, like, I don't know, sensitize myself again instead of desensitize. I'm gonna sensitize myself to
Yeah,
the
exactly.
the thrillers and, like, all the shocking twists again. But
Yeah. I feel like
so
this would be, like, the perfect palate cleanser when you're reading a lot like, I read mostly romance. I really
right.
only read thrillers, like, a little bit, like, mixed in.
Yeah.
I feel like this would be a good palate cleanser when you just, like, wanna break from a different genre,
Oh, yeah.
just because the writing was so easy, it was fast paced, like, is Frida McFadden the best mystery writer ever? No. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
wouldn't say that, like, it's because of that, but I definitely gave it, like, a pretty high rating.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about
Oh,
ratings.
yeah, we did.
What did you give it?
I think I'm gonna settle on, like, a 4, 4.5.
Okay, yeah, same. I think I did 4 or 4.25.
Yeah.
So, because
'Cause it
like,
was really,
it
like
wasn't a 5, but, like,
yeah,
I really enjoyed reading it, so
yeah, like, I didn't have any complaints. I think the only part that I think kinda like what Josh was saying earlier, that it was too convenient, like, that the detective was related to his ex-fiancée,
yeah.
or I'm like, "Okay, that was probably a bit of a stretch."
That's a coincidence.
Yeah. But I think other than that, like, nothing else bothered me, like, I had no
Right.
complaints, it was enjoyable.
Right. Well, see,
Yeah.
that's the thing, like, I don't think if she would have made, like, the cop just a random cop, I don't know how she would have got out of it.
Right.
Because I feel like anyone else is gonna be like, "Okay, no, he's locked in there, you obviously did something." But since he
Yeah.
had that background knowledge of something was going on with him, so I guess that's
Yeah.
why they kinda had to be there.
Yeah, because I think she did want it to be, like, a happy ending,
Yeah,
like, I think
it
that's why I've seen people
is.
say that, like, romance readers would like that book, because
Right.
I feel like thrillers don't always have a happy ending.
No. And I mean, that's not like a prerequisite for like
Yeah.
a thriller. Like they can end terribly, like it
Yeah.
could be sad, whatever. But for the romance, it's like, and like I don't mind if my romance doesn't have a happily ever after. I
Mhm.
know some people are like die hard, it has to be considered a romance. But like if there's a romance story in the
Yeah.
book, and the majority of the book is like their love story, and sometimes things things happen in life, and you don't things happen. So I'm like, I'm okay if it doesn't end with a HEA, but I know
Yeah.
some
It depends
people
on
are
the
like,
context.
yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever read a romance that didn't end in an HEA though. But I'm just saying, if it came to that,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. I know I have one of my TBR. It's called Where the Mountains Meet the Sea. It's by A.R. Breck,
Uh-huh.
and it does not have an HEA. So that's like
Ooh.
I'm gonna read it to kind of gauge, okay, do I actually
Yeah.
like HEAs? Like, do I need that in my book to enjoy the book, or can I be like
Yeah.
not and still enjoy it? So
I think it's different too if you know going into it,
right.
you can, like, mentally and emotionally prepare.
I
But I
couldn't
think if you
prepare for
think it's gonna
Maestro
have
though.
a happily ever after and it doesn't, that's, like,
Yeah.
devastating.
Right. Like so case in point, when we were reading Maestro, I did not know if it had an HEA. You cheated and you asked your husband if it did.
Because I knew I could not handle that trauma. I
Right.
was at a certain point and I was like, "Babe, you have to tell me right
Right.
now because I need to know. Like, I don't think I will recover."
Right. So, like, you know what? Maybe I should take it from like that book. I was like devastated. I was crying when I read that book. If
Yeah.
it didn't end in an HEA, would I still enjoyed it? Probably, but I would have been like gut wrenched. It was,
Yes.
yeah. But Okay. This book here. Will you read the sequel? Prequel. Sequel prequel.
Yeah. Well, I want to look up the premise of it now.
Yeah, I know it's a sequel, but it's also a prequel. And there's another one. There's 3 books. I did not know there was a third.
There's 3.
It says so we have the Housemaid's Secret, and then the Housemaid is Watching, which
Oh
was
my
released.
lord.
Oh, sorry, it's not out yet. It comes out in June.
Okay.
The last one.
Yeah, so when hold on.
Paige, I've just been informed you cannot handle a book without an HEA.
I'm an emotional mess. I mean, he's not wrong.
Okay. The Housemaid's Secret.
My Kindle is so slow right now. It's not
It
loading.
says, as he continues showing me their incredible penthouse apartment, I have a terrible feeling about the woman behind closed doors. But I can't risk losing this job, not if I want to keep my darkest secrets safe. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that the Garricks miraculously gave me a job cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry, and one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see inside changes everything. That's when I make a promise. After all, I've done this before. I can protect Mrs. Garrick while keeping my own secrets locked up safe. Douglas Garrick has done wrong. He's going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. Also, is this a sequel?
Yeah, so is it still Millie?
Oh, I guess so.
Oh.
Huh.
But I wonder if it'll have the
Interesting.
same impact if we know.
Yeah, because like I know like it has to have a different twist.
There must be something, yeah.
I don't want to read any reviews because I don't want to like.
I know. I'm definitely intrigued. But part of me also wants to read some of her other ones.
Yes, there's so many. She has so
Yeah.
many books.
Yeah.
Like I just they're here somewhere in this pile. But I bought The Teacher and I bought The Inmate
I
from
really want to
Walmart.
get The Teacher. I've seen a lot of good reviews about that
Yes.
one.
I have heard good things about that one as well. So that's why I picked it up. And then The Inmate had just like came out that same week. So I'm like, I'm just gonna grab that. And then there's
Oh.
like something called The Coworker. Um
Uh-huh, yeah.
there's one Never Lie, and I think it's about like a couple and their therapist or something. So I'm very intrigued about
Ooh,
that one.
that sounds good.
And there's just like a whole bunch. I keep seeing like more people like post her books. I'm like, how many books does she have out? Like, does she just like post
Yeah.
one a month or something? Let's see. How many
Aren't
books
they all on Kindle Unlimited?
I think. If not, a good majority of them are. Let's see. We've got The Housemaid's Secret, Never Lie, The Inmate, The Locked Door, The Teacher, The Coworker, Ward D, The Perfect Son, One by One, The Wife Upstairs, Do Not Disturb, Want to Know a
Dang.
Secret, The Surrogate Mother, The Ex, Brain Damage, Do You Remember, The Gift, Suicide. Oh, some of these are from way many years ago, though.
There's so many.
Yeah. And then The Boyfriend, that'll come out later this year. So she's got like a big backlist.
Oh.
I read The Housemaid's Secret after I finished.
It's
Me and
better?
Ooh! Ooh, I
Okay.
like that. I makes me happy.
That's good to know. Maybe I will read that one next.
Like we still have like how many days left of this month? I'm trying just to like read some like short books. I don't want to start anything big because I
Yeah.
haven't done my TBR for April, so I don't know what I'm going to be reading yet. So I've been reading the oh gosh, Ashes and Embers from Carrie Ann Cole because
Me
those are
too.
see I'm only on the first book right now, so I'm almost done
Just
it.
wait.
But I have the first three or first. Oh my gosh, my cup fell. I'm fine. Oh, I have the first two or three. It looks like. I
Okay.
get
They're
the
also
paperback.
free on Audible.
Oh.
Mhm.
Ooh, I would like to hear what Storm sounds like.
It was
So as
good.
I'm reading this book, I'm just picturing Jason Momoa. I know he's not like Hawaiian Storm, but
Yeah,
the way she is like his long hair and all the tattoos, I'm like, oh, he's Jason Momoa. I know he's
yeah.
not, but in my head, he's Jason Momoa.
Mhm.
But yes.
Well, I guess I'm pretty sure the first one, Storm, does not have a male narrator. That's the only
Oh, see,
downside, but the rest of them do. Storm is the only one that doesn't.
okay. I'll just wait then and like go into the second book with
Yeah.
the okay.
But yeah, I've
I
been binging so many Carrie Cole books. Like I listened to I will say the second book in that series, I had to DNF.
Ooh.
It's not because it was bad, but just like the content in it was like because of the trigger warnings.
Oh, okay.
But um I've been binging like all of them. I read, hold on. Why can I not find them? Oh, I know why the first one only has her voice, because book 5 is the book from his point of view. Loving
Oh.
Storm.
Okay.
So that one will have his
Huh.
voice. So yeah, I read Storm, Lucas, Talon, and then I read Torn,
Oh, okay.
and then I'm gonna read Asher next. Because I guess Torn is in her other series,
Yeah.
but that the female main character in that one is Asher's daughter.
Oh, okay.
So Carrie Cole says to read Torn first and then Asher.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, thankfully my friend Cassie told me that. I was like, I would not have even thought to read it in
Yeah.
that order. So
I think they're yeah, because I'm pretty sure they're all in the same world,
yeah,
like all her books. So, um, Don't Kiss the Bride, which you haven't read yet, right?
no, not yet.
So good. Okay. There is a part in Don't Kiss the Bride where the hero is at a restaurant and he sees, I think, Asher, and he
Oh,
knows him as like the guy from the band, and like he's just having a conversation with him, kind of talking about like the age
okay.
gap between the the two ages between him and the heroine, and like Asher's like, well, here's my story,
Oh,
and and it has to do with like his daughter and stuff. So
that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, so yeah, they're all in like the same world, which is nice. I like
Yeah,
when
they're really
authors do
good.
that. So that's why I'm just been reading like short, because they're not long books. So I'm like, okay, if I can just get some shorter books in the rest of the month, so I'm not reading like a 500-page book at the end of the month or anything like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
they're
yeah,
perfect for that.
okay. So next month we've got two choices. So we're actually going to do the spinner wheel while we're
Yes.
live here. Um, the first choice, I cannot. Okay, you're going you talk, because I can't talk and do this at the same. I'm sitting here like I can't speak and type at the same.
So the first one is kind of a wild card pick. This is The Lady of Rooksgrave Manor, right? Is that the
Yes,
title? Yeah.
I think
So
it's
that
by
one's supposed to be like a
Catherine Moon.
reverse harem, like monster romance.
Yes, like so, the heroine gets a job at a brothel for monsters. Look, it's gonna be my first. Okay, I don't know. First monster romance, because I've
Yeah.
never. I mean, I've read an alien one, but never like a monster
I
one.
think
So I
it'll
think
be
there's
my
like
first period.
okay, because you haven't read the Ice Planet Barbarians, have you? Oh, okay,
No.
okay. Lady, what was the other one? Let
The other
them
one is
know.
called Where We Started by Ashley Munoz. So that one's like a motorcycle club. I think it might be Second Chance too.
I think so.
Oh, Josh says bring on the monster smut. I don't know. I'm nervous. It'll definitely be
Okay.
entertaining for the book
Yes, I
club
mean,
purposes. So
yeah. If anything, it will be. So okay, okay, I got it.
all right, I'm nervous.
Okay, I don't think you're gonna. Okay, yeah. So let's see. Blue is Lady of Brooksgrave Manor, and red is Where We Started.
Okay.
Okay. Oh gosh, I can't.
Let's see.
I think we're gonna get lucky.
Where is it? Where we started?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still probably eventually read. That's it's so funny because that Lady of Grave Manor is the oldest book on my Kindle. I I've had that book out for a while now, but it's fine. I'll get to it eventually. It
Yeah.
is like the first in like a trilogy, so I think each book is following a different person. But
Yeah.
so where we started, let me get it up here on Goodreads.
Yes.
I
And it
actually
is
think
on Kindle Unlimited. I
yeah,
checked. So that's good. And the second book just came out.
yes, I think the third one comes out in April. So like
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's good timing then.
yeah, so where we started looks like this for
Ooh, I love that
everybody.
cover.
I do too. Oh, I love a
Cute.
good people cover. I will die on that hill.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so I will read here what it says. It says, usually watching a notorious biker club mourn the loss of their beloved president would be a dangerous choice. 10 out of 10 do not recommend, unless, of course, your family. I didn't really consider myself part of my father's legacy until I found out what he left behind in his will. Property, 10 acres to be exact, which included the headquarters for his beloved motorcycle club. I had no idea that by accepting the terms of my inheritance, it would thrust me into a battle with the new club president. Wesley Ryan was unfathomably handsome, menacing, and formidable in every way, but his derision toward me only made me cling that much tighter to my birthright. That is, until he decided to play dirty. Wes didn't just taunt me by bringing up our past, he wanted us to go all the way back to where we started. Where we started, there's the title.
Oh.
Back to when we were 9 and I was just a girl next door who snuck into his treehouse. Back to
Oh,
when
stop it.
back to when he'd fight the boys who made me cry. Back to when he first kissed me and stole my heart. I had to remember Wes wanted to claim my father's property, not me. I walked away once. I just had to prove I was strong enough to do it again.
Oh,
Okay, so it definitely sounds
tiny heart.
second chance.
Yeah.
So it sounds good though. Like I haven't read an MC romance in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
While. My goodness. It's been a long while, I think, actually.
Mhm.
What was the last one? I'm thinking.
Because I've read a couple where the main male character drives. What's the right
I
term?
don't know what you can say when you're on a motorcycle. Drive a motorcycle or ride it.
I think write it.
I think it's what they say.
Okay, anyway.
Shows you that we do it all the time. We're like,
Yeah. I've definitely read some recently where the guy rides one, but I don't
yeah,
think I've read an MC one in a long time.
okay. I just remembered I lied. It was like back in January.
Oh yeah,
It
because
was
you read that Beth Flynn one,
yes, the
right?
guest one, which was 9 minutes, and it's definitely more like romantic suspense
Okay.
than
Mhm.
like just pure romance. But it is very
Yeah.
like trigger warnings if you want to read it. Um, it's very gritty, very motorcycle club. Like there's some pretty nasty fellas in the club, but it was good. Like, you know, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, you ride a motorcycle.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Well, well then who's driving it, okay? You steer it. You have to steer it.
Really, a motorcycle drives itself, and we are just
Apparently.
along for the
You
ride.
just like steer it, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, yeah, so
I'm
we have
excited.
next month and the live show will be on Paige's channel
Yes.
on April 25th at
Mhm.
7 p.m. Eastern time. So
Yes.
if you guys haven't read it or want to read it and join us next month to talk about it, I'm excited.
Yeah, I've seen good things, so
Yeah, a lot of people seem to like it, so
yeah,
I
hopefully
don't
we will
want to
too.
get my hopes up though.
I know.
I hate when I do that. I'm like reading these hyped books and then I'm like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
So, but
So far,
yeah,
so good,
so
though.
yeah, I mean, for the most part, I feel like. So, have you ever read like a hyped book that was really hyped, and then you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, Magnolia Parks.
Oh, see, I'm not even touching that. I'm not
I
even
don't
going there.
don't do it.
See, I'm not. See, for me, it was haunting Adeline. Like, I liked it,
Same, I DNF'd it.
but, like, it wasn't what I thought it was like, because I haven't even finished it, and people say the second book's even better than the first, but, like, I was just like, "This is okay." I
Yeah,
don't see why everyone's, like, falling head over heels for this, but
I didn't get it.
yeah, so I was just like, I really it really pushed, like, my triggers, like, I don't have a lot of triggers, but, like, I kinda realized that, like, non-consent is, like, kinda like where I'm gonna draw the line, like, because like,
Yeah,
it's ju yes, it's, like, consensual, non-consent, but at the same time,
yeah,
there's just some scenes where I'm like, "This is too much," or, like,
yeah,
an object he was using that was like, "I'm not this is too much."
I
I
agree.
was just like, "Yeah." So, I never finished. I don't know if I'm gonna the second book or
Yeah.
not,
You
but
may have to DNF Vandal then, I'm just warning you. The book after
honestly,
Storm.
is it, like, non-consent? Is it dubious consent? Is it
I guess there's technically consent, but when she gives consent, she doesn't know the full story.
okay.
What does that count as? Is that dubious, I
I don't
guess?
I don't heck
I
if
don't
I
know.
like, I mean, the only thing I can do is just kinda read it and see.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Because
not anything like super crazy, but like you'll know.
yeah, I just think different authors write scenes could write, like, the same scene different ways to where, like,
Yeah.
maybe
Mhm.
reading it from this author, I'm like, "There's I can't do that," but from a different author, I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. It
If the
also depends on
wording
like
or
the timing that you read it too. You know,
yeah,
like kind of the mental headspace you're in that
yeah,
day, obviously plays a part.
right. I mean, it wasn't too bad to where I couldn't finish the book, but it was just like, I'm not enjoying that. Like, and
Yeah.
most scenes, I'm like, "Oh, I can enjoy most scenes," but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
not for
enjoying
me.
that." Yeah. But, okay, anything else about The Housemaid that we wanted to go over?
I don't think so. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised. I really thought it was gonna be one of those overhyped things, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was good, I'm glad, again, because like I said, sometimes hyped books, they're hit or miss, and I wish that wasn't the case. I wish, like, if it's hyped for a reason, and for the most
Yeah.
part, they usually are, like, I haven't been to, like, where a book's been, like, terrible other than On and Out of Line. Not that it
Yeah.
was terrible, but it was just like a 3, like, it was like a 3 stars, and I'm not budging on that, it was just a 3 stars. But,
Mhm.
this I was very happy with, but now
Yeah. It was a good time.
I will get rid of it now because I won't read it again. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
that is
like,
true.
I never reread thrillers because I know the twist.
Yeah. It won't ever hit the same.
Yeah. Although I guess now going back and rereading it, you could see some of the stuff, like, because now you see, like, you've got hindsight, you've got it all, so, like, going in, you can be like, "Oh, well, she's doing that because," but it beats the purpose as you're reading it,
Yeah.
because I'll never go back and be like, "She's gaslighting me." I'm feeling crazy because now I'll know, like, so it will not be the same.
Yeah, for sure.
So wait, before we go, I wanted to know what everyone else rated the book. What did everyone else think of it? Let us know,
Yes.
because I wanna
I don't
know if,
even think
like
I put my rating on Goodreads. I need to do that before I forget.
oh, I know, because, like, I get emails of, like, Goodread updates, and I'll, like, see all the books you've read or reading. You never give a review for, like, our book club. I'm like, "What did she rate it? I wanna know." You're just like,
Gotta keep them
"Mark is red."
guessing.
She's like, "Marked as red." I'm like, "I know, but what did you rate it?"
Yeah. I can't decide if I wanna do 4 or 4.5.
I Man, I just wish Goodreads would be like, "You know what? We're gonna give you half stars, and we're gonna
I
give you
know.
0.25 stars."
Yeah,
Just
something.
I think if you did that, nobody would have complaints with it for the most part. It can be glitchy sometimes. For the
True.
most part, I think, because, like, right now, I'm reading my book, and I've been putting in, like, what page I'm on, and it tells me I'm 100% done. I'm like, "No,"
What?
and now I'm not. Okay, Lori gave
Ooh,
it
I
a
give 4.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, so we sound like we're all pretty much on the same page. Like,
Yeah.
we liked it, but it wasn't like a top tier 5 star.
Yeah. It wasn't, like, groundbreaking, but okay.
Okay. And yes,
I
half stars.
know.
Like,
Especially because,
I
like, what's the
refuse.
other one?
Storygraph.
Storygraph
I
lets you do it.
refuse. I refuse to go to like, I've tried it, but it's just like
Yeah.
everyone's on Goodreads for the most part. And like
Yeah.
Storygraph does offer a lot of like breakdowns every month of like the type of book you read, like graphs and everything, which is nice.
I do like it for that purpose.
But I just can't get rid of my Goodreads. I'm just like, it's so convenient. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mainly use Goodreads, but I still try to put things in Storygraph just because I do like stats.
Yes, yeah. If you do,
So
if
I
you like
use
stats, I
both
think
because I'm insane.
no. I mean, I think that's good.
I've also been using this one called Book Mori. Have you seen that one?
No,
Where it like puts your books on a calendar. So like
no.
for example, this is March, but like see it'll show
Huh.
like all your books on a calendar.
Oh
And
my
I don't know
gosh.
why that's like so satisfying to me to
I
see.
would have like 3 books on there. I'm such a look. It's quality over quantity
Yes.
on my
Yes.
channel. I don't read fast, and I don't have time to read a lot. But when I can, I try to read books that I think I'm gonna like, so I'm not
That's
like
all that
wasting like
matters.
time. But
Mhm.
that's why I don't do like monthly wrap ups. I'm like, because sometimes you'd be getting like 2 books. Like I'll do like 2 months in one, and or
Yeah.
3 months. It just depends on like I've been doing okay for
Mhm.
this year. Like I've how many books have I read total? Don't laugh at me. It's not a lot, but for
That's
me, it's
okay.
enough.
There's no judgment.
I've read 18 books, which for me,
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I'm still 4 ahead of schedule by Goodreads standards.
See?
So as long as I
There
can
you
stay
go.
ahead.
Yeah, you
But
got
like I
it.
know some people was like, I've read that in a month, and I'm like, good for you, but it couldn't be me.
Yeah. It's every month is different for me. Like, there are some months where I'll read, like, 5 books, and then there's other months where I'll read, like, 25. Like,
Couldn't be me. I
there's
wish it
no in
was.
between.
Like, I wish it was, but, like, I can barely remember the 5 I read in a month, let alone 25. It would
Yeah.
it would not be a good time for, like, a wrap up. I'd be like, "I so this person and this person, I don't know their names, but happened."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, since we got everyone's ratings, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything else. So, thank you guys for stopping by on this Thursday evening before Easter. And, I know people are
Yes.
busy with the holidays and stuff, but
Mhm.
thank you for stopping by and chatting with us. And then next month, April 25th, over on
Mhm.
Paige's channel, we will be having our book discussion for Where We Started, which is
Yes.
on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, go read it. And I will post in the description because I haven't done it yet, but I'll like put Paige's Instagram, my Instagram, and her channel down as well, so you can go and subscribe to her. And because she always, if you ever see like our graphics that we put on Instagram, they're all done by the lovely Paige because
Thank
I
God
just,
for Canva.
yeah, I just like so the thumbnail I just whipped together before I started, so like don't make fun, but
Hey,
because
it
like, I'm
worked.
just yeah, it works for the thumbnail. But yeah, so we always post like reminders and stuff on our Instagrams to throughout the month so you guys can remember. But other than that, I think we're good to go. So thank you, Paige,
Thank
for
you.
hosting with me as always.
Of
And thanks to
course.
everyone else for stopping by. And we'll see you all next month for our romance choice for April.
Yay. I'm excited.
Bye guys.
Bye.